And now, BX Forever presents another RPG deep dive.
Welcome to another episode of BX Forever, a deep dive into new and classic modules for basic and expert D&D and retro clones, those fantastic modern games that just perfectly capture the feel of the original foundational D&D experience. All right, let's dive into this deep dive into Castle D'Angelo.
Sounds good.
We're taking a look at Strongholds of Sorcery, and specifically this section about this really bizarre castle.
It's a weird one.
So it sounds like everyone in the castle is going a little crazy.
Yeah, they're all under this magical madness.
This magical madness, huh?
Yeah, it comes from this demon called Gothic. And it preys on their deepest desires and insecurities.
Oh, so it's not just like they're mindless zombies.
No. It's much more insidious.
Okay.
It affects everyone differently.
Right.
Even
give me an example.
Well, like the frogmen, they're totally immune.
The frogmen.
Because their minds work so differently.
Okay, so it's not like a one-size-fits-all madness.
Exactly.
Okay.
Everyone's madness is unique to them.
So let's get into some specifics.
Yeah.
The module mentions Cherry O'Brien, a knight who's obsessed with boar hunting.
Oh, yeah.
But it sounds like it's way more than just a hobby.
Oh, it's out of control. She's totally consumed by it.
Okay.
She's even let were-boars into the castle because of it.
Were-boars?
Yeah,
That's not good.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
She's so focused on hunting these boars that she doesn't even realize.
So the madness is kind of twisting something
Totally.
that would be normal into something really dangerous.
Exactly. It takes something harmless and makes it a threat.
Right.
From a player's perspective, they might think she's just a bit eccentric at first.
Yeah.
But she's actually caused a huge problem.
And then there are the dwarves.
Oh, yeah.
They were guests at the castle, right?
They were.
And the madness made them so paranoid that they turned on each other.
Yeah, it's a real tragedy.
Only one dwarf, Magnus, survived.
That's right.
And he supposedly got some treasure stashed away.
That's the rumor, at least.
Yeah.
But think about what happened to them.
It's a cautionary tale.
Exactly. They let their fear and mistrust destroy them.
It makes you wonder if anyone can really escape the madness in this castle.
That's a good question, yeah.
So we've got this boar-obsessed knight and these paranoid dwarves.
Yeah.
Then there's Valor True, the guard captain,
Yeah.
and she seems like one of the few who's still sane.
It seems that way, yeah.
But she's trapped in the Eastgate Tower.
Right, everyone thinks she's the crazy one.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, she's a glimmer of hope in this whole mess.
So you've got this chaos and madness everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Then this Clockwork Man shows up.
Oh, yeah, the Clockwork Man.
He's got a letter from Duke Tarkin, like he needs repairs or something.
Right, but when the Duke sees him, the Clockwork Man opens up his chest. Inside is this cracked jewel.
And no one knows what it means.
Nope, it's a total mystery.
So we've got a mysterious Clockwork Man.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's going mad.
Yeah.
But it seems like even the castle itself is kind of falling apart.
What do you mean?
Well, there's confusing graffiti everywhere, messages that contradict each other, and booby traps.
Booby trap.
Yeah, set by a huntsman named Charlotte.
Oh, right, Charlotte.
Apparently she really likes using knitting needles in her traps.
It's messed up.
Yeah, a little creepy.
For sure.
So the castle is reflecting the madness of the people inside.
Yeah, it's like a physical manifestation of their broken minds.
I mean, it gets even weirder.
How so?
The baths for the male and female servants have switched symbols.
Oh, no way.
And there are these magic grooming tiles.
I've heard about those.
You touch the wrong one and poof, you're either hairless or sporting a buzz cut.
That's hilarious.
It's like someone is messing with them on purpose.
Totally. It adds to the absurdity of the whole situation.
Yeah, but it also makes you wonder what else is out there.
What other weirdness awaits?
Right. What other strange things are lurking around the corner?
Let's find out.
We'll get into that next time, folks.
Yeah.
Things are about to get a whole lot weirder.
Can't wait.
So we've got were-boars, paranoid dwarves, knitting needle booby traps,
Sounds about right.
a clock that doesn't keep time.
Yeah.
Oh, and a giant tarantula running around.
Oh, right. I forgot about that one.
And did I mention the ogres fighting in the courtyard?
Just a lot to keep track of.
It's a mess, but
Yeah.
there's one thing that really stood out to me.
What's that?
This secret third level in the dungeon.
Ah, yes. The lower levels, it's pretty tricky to get down there.
How so?
You need to find a specific sigil to open the way.
Okay, and then what?
Well, let's just say it's not for the faint of heart.
What do you mean?
There's a trapped treasure vault, for starters.
Okay, that's pretty standard dungeon fare.
Sure, but then there's this room filled with aqualumina.
Aqualuminar, what's that?
It's like this liquid, but it's not water.
Okay.
It can disintegrate flesh on contact.
No kidding.
Yeah, pretty nasty stuff.
That sounds dangerous.
It is very dangerous.
Anything else down there I should know about?
Oh, and there's a captive mermaid.
A mermaid?
Yep, just hanging out in the dungeon.
That seems a little out of place, even for this castle.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, what's she doing there? Is she connected to the madness somehow?
Maybe she holds the key to breaking the curse.
Could be. Who knows?
I'd be curious to find out.
Yeah, it's a real head-scratcher.
So we've got treasure, instant death liquid, and a mermaid.
Yep, pretty much sums it up.
But before we go rescuing any mermaids, tell me more about this aqualumina.
Well, it's basically pure chaotic energy, made manifest, like a physical representation of the madness in the castle.
So it's not just a danger, it's like a symbol.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it makes you think.
So not only are there monsters to fight, you've got to avoid touching anything.
Pretty much it's a real test of your skills and your wits.
Right.
You can't just charge and swing your sword. You have to be careful.
Okay, so aqualumina is a big threat.
Definitely.
But it's not the only weird thing going on in this castle, right?
Oh, no, not even close.
What else is there?
Well, all the portraits in the castle,
The portraits. What about them?
they're all of people who are either dead or have gone mad.
Really?
Yeah, kind of creepy when you think about it.
That is pretty creepy, especially if you didn't know.
Right. It's like they're watching you.
Okay, that's one weird thing.
There are more?
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Well, there's this dollhouse.
A dollhouse?
Yeah, it belongs to Tia D'Angelo, the Duke's daughter.
Okay.
She wished for a dollhouse that she could go inside.
Wait a minute, is this like a
And she got her wish, but...
life-size dollhouse?
Exactly.
I've heard of these. They're not usually good news.
This one's definitely not.
What's so bad about it?
Oh, everything inside is life-sized.
Creepy.
But that's not the worst part.
Oh.
There's a whole family of dolls inside living their lives.
Okay, that's pretty creepy.
But get this, they're animated.
Animated.
Yeah, like they're alive and Tia controls them.
So she's like a puppet master.
Like she's created her own little world
where she's in charge.
and everyone has to obey.
So it's a creepy dollhouse, but is it dangerous?
Ooh, it's dangerous, all right.
How so?
It's like a pocket dimension.
Oh.
Once you're inside, it's almost impossible to get back out.
Not even with magic.
Even dispel magic spells have a low chance of working.
Yikes.
It's a trap,
A
basically.
poor girl.
I know, it's sad.
So how do you escape?
Well, there's one room inside that acts as the exit.
Yeah.
When you enter that room, you're instantly transported back to Tia's bedroom.
Okay, so it's a one-way door.
It seems that way.
This is getting weirder and weirder.
Tell me about it.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
There are also two ghosts in the castle, Arnold and Ulrich.
I was wondering when we'd get to them.
They were both former residents who met some pretty bad ends.
Right.
And depending on how you treat their remains, they can either help you or curse you.
It's up to the players.
Do you try to use them or show them respect?
Exactly. It's a choice with consequences.
Even in this crazy castle, you still have to make moral choices.
It seems so.
So we've got all this madness, but is it all contained within the castle? Or could it spread?
That's a good question.
It's a scary thought, isn't it? That maybe all this madness could escape the castle walls.
Like a disease, yeah.
But even if it doesn't, this castle is still completely bonkers.
It really is.
What a setting for a game, though.
Oh, absolutely. It's brilliant.
You've got werbors, ogres, a giant tarantula, and who knows what else.
Yeah, and then there's all the psychological stuff, too.
Right, it's not just about fighting monsters.
No, you have to think differently. You have to adapt.
You have to think outside the box.
Exactly.
But with all this going on, how do you even know where to start?
Honestly, there is no right answer.
So there's no best strategy.
Nope. This module is all about player choice and creativity.
So do you try to team up with someone like Valor True?
Maybe, or maybe you go it alone.
Or maybe you try to figure out what's causing the madness?
There's so many possibilities.
It sounds like you really have to think about every decision.
You do, because every choice has consequences.
Kind of like those old choose-your-own-adventure books. In this case, it's not just your character's life at stake.
It's the whole castle, maybe even the world.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is, but that's what makes it so exciting.
So even with all the craziness and danger,
Yeah,
Castle D'Angelo is still a compelling place.
sure.
It's like looking into a distorted mirror, seeing a reflection of our own world.
It makes you think about things differently.
But what about someone who doesn't play role-playing games? What's in it for them?
It's still a fascinating story full of twists and turns.
And it makes you think about things like isolation and paranoia.
Those are things we all deal with in some way.
It's like those old fairy tales with hidden meanings.
Yeah, they might seem simple on the surface.
But underneath, there's a lot more going on.
Exactly.
So we've explored this crazy castle, but we've also explored something deeper.
The darker side of human nature.
And that brings us to one final question for our listeners.
What's that?
If you were trapped in Castle D'Angelo, what would you do?
That's a good one. It really makes you think.
Would you search for allies, try to understand the madness, or just try to survive?
It's a tough choice, but it's one we all have to make in some way.
We all face our own challenges, our own inner demons.
That's right.
So until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and maybe, just maybe, give role-playing games a try.
You never know. You might enjoy it.
You might even learn something about yourself along the way.
That's the best part.
We'll see you next time, folks.